Well, howdy, I'm Cooter Pickleberry. This is FloridaMan Cooking, and today we're going to make some chicken stew. It's getting a little cooler up north. Down here we're looking at a high of 90 today, but it has dried out a little bit. You can't just wring the air and get a gallon of water like you could a month ago. So starting to think fall foods, comfort foods, stuff that's easy to put in the crock pot, leave it all day, come home and having a delicious meal. So my family loves this stuff. It's really good. I never even heard of chicken stew till a couple of years ago. I always made beef stew. I still do that too. But this is a good one when you're kind of busy. It's quick, it's easy, anybody can do it, and it tastes great. You guys will love it. Welcome aboard. Thanks for joining us. All right, let's get to it. We're going to take some chicken thighs. They got a little bit of fat on, so we're going to cut that off. No sense putting too much extra fat in there. A little bit's good for flavor. It'll render out. You won't get any big chunks of fat out of this, but we'll take chicken thighs over chicken breasts any day of the week because it holds moisture better. They're just generally better tasting, I think. I'm sure there's a place for chicken breasts, but to me, the thighs are the way to go. They're cheaper, they're better tasting, they hold moisture better. They're just all around a pretty good deal. So we're gonna cut those up into bite-sized bits. Now, here's the thing with that. They don't really have to be totally cut up too much because it's gonna fall apart when it sits in the crock pot for 6 to 8 hours. Once we're done with that, we'll just throw a little salt and pepper on them. Well, a little bit of salt, a lot of pepper. I figure you can always salt the dish later, and I hate to have something that's over-salted, so I go minimal salt while I'm cooking and then more later if I need it. But pepper, I don't believe you can really over pepper anything with black pepper. It's just good stuff. Run that stuff back into the kitchen real quick and got a stainless steel skillet, a little bit of avocado oil in it, high heat. We're just going to sear that off just so it doesn't look too, gray or goopy. Put a little brown on it. This is excellent camera work right here. Oh, there we go. Now you can actually see it. So it'll stick a little bit, it'll leave a nice fond on it. The more of that fond you can scrape off or deglaze back into the crock pot, the more flavor you get. I didn't have time today, we were on our way to the doctor, so this is a morning cook and then just kind of get it moving thing. So I didn't get a chance to deglaze it, but if you use white wine or water or mushrooms, anything will deglaze that pot and get all that flavor in there. In the crock pot, we're going to throw a little bit of cooking spray in just to make it easier to clean up later. That just keeps stuff from sticking to it. It cleans up real easy. See all that good brown bits in there? Those are great. Get as much of it as you can. And like I said, if you have time, man, I'd go ahead and throw the mushrooms in there that you're going to load in here later, and just take all that fond with them. And it's just good stuff. I got a couple of cups of chicken stock. I use low sodium chicken stock that I bought. Didn't use the homemade stuff because I'm out. By the way, if you're looking for the recipe, in the description below, if you open that up, you'll see all the quantities of the ingredients that are going in. The video is the how-to, and the rest of it is the quantities. Here's some rosemary. Just going to strip that off. I sped this up a little bit because, once you've seen it, you've seen it. And we'll give that a quick chop. You want really big bits of rosemary. Little bits that infuse the flavor are great, but huge chunks are not so great. And then thyme. Thyme's one of those things that just takes time to make thyme. You got to gently pull off all those leaves. And I gave those a little chop too here in a bit. But it's about a tablespoon of each of those, and then some carrots. Carrots and celery are and onion are kind of the trinity of soups and stews. This is a real rustic dish, so it doesn't matter that everything is completely symmetrical like they teach you at chef school. It's a rustic dish. It's supposed to look like it was made in a 110-year-old farmhouse up in Alaska somewhere. So, and then the garlic. I just cut the woody ends off the garlic. And I bought some of that pre-peeled garlic. Boy, that makes it easier, but it's not hard to make garlic either. You just smash it and start chopping, but this works pretty good. And of course, when you're chopping garlic, start slow because the big chunks will fly. You want to keep as much of it on the cutting board as you can. So start slow. When they get smaller, you can start cutting faster. Just hold those fingers down on the top. Keep your thumb out from underneath it, and just start cutting. It's kind of a beginner's how-to. If you're above all this stuff, I apologize. I'm trying to teach my kids how to cook, and this is just a way for them to understand how you do this stuff. No one ever taught me till I learned at the restaurant I worked at. And it'd be kind of cool to have kids that know that stuff at home. Now here's the big one. This is the onion. Too many people cut an onion like they're, a 4-year-old orangutan, and they just don't know how to dice an onion. It's not hard. Cut the top off. Flip it on the flat part. Cut it down the middle. And we'll do a little peely, get rid of all the wrapper and maybe the first layer, because that's usually kind of a tough layer. The sharper the knife, the better here. So if you got a really sharp knife, that's great. If you don't, sharpen one. If you have a dull one, you run the risk of cutting yourself a little bit. You want this thing to just slice through easily. So you flip it on the flat part, and then go lengthwise. Not quite to the end, because the end's what's holding it together, and then just slice. This is real time. This isn't sped up. It's just that easy if you have a sharp knife. Give it a horizontal cut, and come back over the top. And again, because this is rustic and not culinary school, it doesn't matter if everything's symmetrical. It just has to be small enough to not give a giant bite of something. And then twist that around so you don't end up cutting your finger off. That sharp knife is a real sharp knife. And we'll show you one more time. We're just going to cut it lengthwise, bending your fingertips. Your finger's got no risk of getting hit if it's hitting your knuckle. A horizontal slice, and then the same thing going backwards the other way. Which I guess technically not the same thing, but kind of the same process, I guess. The liquids, we're going to throw in some Worcestershire sauce. I'm just guessing here, but I would guess I put about 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire in. I love that stuff. I think it's the most underrated spice you got. And then a little bit of balsamic vinegar, about a tablespoon of that, only because I think I kind of almost ran out. I got to get some more of that stuff. It's good too. It gives a real nice umami flavor when it cooks for a bit. And we just start throwing stuff in. Garlic, the rosemary and thyme, onions, carrots, celery. I think you get the gist of that. That's probably enough of that. Threw some mushrooms in, magically. And then the potatoes I'm using are baby Yukon Golds. I like the Yukon Gold for stews. It holds up pretty well. It's still got a little bit of a bite to it. It's a real buttery, delicious flavor. Put about a pound of those in. Again, the description below will give you the ingredients. And then you can tell it's a good wine because it's a giant bottle with a screw top. So we put about, I don't know, maybe a half a cup. You could probably do a little bit more. I didn't really taste that when we ate it. So I think another, maybe double that amount would be really good. Then we just stir it up. Here's the beauty of the Crockpot. This is 15 minutes of making it, maybe less. And then it just sits there all day. And whenever you're ready to eat, 6 to 8 hours later, it's ready on a low setting. If you go high setting, you can do it a lot quicker than that, probably about 4 hours. So now we got to thicken up the stew part. So we got some cornstarch. Put about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch in a bowl. And if you don't have cornstarch, you could use flour. That'd be fine too. The big trick is to make sure that it's well diluted before you stick it in there. You kind of want a paste. So I'm just going to use the stock that's in the pot, in the crock pot, and maybe an occasional bit or two of onion or carrot or whatever goes in there. We're just going to stick all that in that bowl and mix that up real nice and make a little bit of a paste. Then it goes back in, and we heat it up for about 15 minutes just to kind of thicken up that broth. Otherwise, you kind of end up with like a corn soup. But with this stuff in, it's not that much. Look, that's 2 tablespoons, and it's kind of pasty. And we just stick it in there, stir it in, turn the heat up on high, get up to a boil if you can, and then Comes out great. Comes out, you know, stew-like instead of soup-like. Which, if you're making a stew, is good. If you're making a soup, you can probably skip this step. Like I said, we turn it up to high, throw the lid back on, and just heat that up for about.
Really good. Are you still recording me?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'll take another bite.
Torture.
Welcome.
Well, that about wraps that up. It gets dark early nowadays. I just want you to know that I sincerely appreciate you watching this stuff and really enjoy having people visit the channel. Leave a comment if you'd like. Certainly like if you'd like and subscribe. God bless you. Appreciate you. Y'all take care.